Hi, welcome to another Trading the Price episode. Today is June 28, 2017. I thought I'd do a brief midweek update here and kind of take a look at some of the price action on the indexes and a couple of the stocks that might have been interest, just to kind of watch for the next couple of days. For the end of the quarter and end of the week option expiration. So let's take a look at the index here. First, looking at the ES future, as you can see, I also got a note here to saying that the pin for this Friday is based on the open interest as of now. The latest open interest that I could get hold of seems like the pin might be targeting 24.25, and also looking at some of these numbers, it also indicate that the price could move around between, somewhere around tagging this 2410 or 2400, which you can see on Tuesday. It came down to that 2415 area, 2416, 2415 area. And also the possibility of targeting up at the 2450, which would be closer to the new all-time high. So with the 2 remaining days, we could see if the price pull back again tomorrow, then we probably could tag this to 2410 again, maybe come down and test this 2412.75. Or if it's going to move up and target the new high. Okay, so we're basically talking about maybe about 13 points away, right? So that could easily move up there and tag the all-time high here, the 2451.50. Then kind of chop around and pull back for the 2425 expiration on Friday. Okay, so if we take a look at the cash index on the S&P. Alright, so let me shift this over here. You can see that the all-time high is 2452.82, and today it closed at 2440.69. So again, that's basically like a little bit over 13 points away. Okay, and the down here is the 2415 and the 2403. So that's equivalent to the 2410, nearly the 2410 on the ES probably, or somewhere around the 2400. And if we take a look at the SPY, also I got the SPY here. I said the projected pin based on the open interest is somewhere around 243, and I say that also looking at those numbers, the price could move to 245, which would be a new all-time high, or come down to 242, which it tagged yesterday, on Tuesday, and actually went below that. And also the possibility of 240, which is down here. So if it can pull back tomorrow, and might get down to this 240 or pull back tomorrow and Friday before it reaches option expiration, and then pump it back up, to the 243. So that's one possibility. Or it could just try to do these end of the quarter window dressing and move it up to 245, tag the new all-time high, and then come back down and pin it at 243 on Friday. Okay, so those are the numbers that to focus on for the next couple of days on the index to see how well these open interest number indicating where the price might be near the close on Friday, and how is the price going to bounce around based on these numbers here, these boundary. Okay, so then the other thing is let's take a look at Apple as well, because Apple is also quite interesting for the basically for the OPEX pinning. So if I go and take a look at Apple here, Apple basically I got a projected pin somewhere around 145. As you can see that this thing could bounce around also, maybe get down to the 144, and then possibly could also push up to 148. So it could come up to this level here, right, before it come back down and pin it at 145 on Friday. Or it could also come down and test this trend line kind of hug around this trend line before it come back up to this 145. So there's could be some chop here, right? But the key thing is, basically at this area here that we're basically looking at, right? This area, okay, for the bounce in the next couple of days, and the pin number that I'm looking at is somewhere around the 145. Right. Then the other one is NVDA. I'm not sure if you guys, some of you might have watched the video that I put out a couple of weeks ago on NVIDIA. And essentially on NVIDIA, the initial video was talking about this H pattern breakdown here. As you can see, it didn't quite work out that way, but there's still a possibility for this particular H, right, just forming a bigger H here for this breakdown. But again, basically still looking at eventually come down and test this 142. But right now, based on the OI, I'm not sure how reliable that is because it's not that much of an open interest. But based on the open interest numbers, it looked like it might project a 150 pin. So it could chop around at this 150, and there's a possibility of moving up to 155. All right, so that means it could come up and bump around this trend line here, and then come back down on this 150 pin here, right? And then could get down to the well, basically it's not too much on the maybe a 149, somewhere around 149. Could tag the 149. So basically probably going to chop around, and most likely it's going to bounce back up to this 155, and then come back down to pin at 150. And that's basically what it looked like. But I'm basically still looking at this breakdown here, okay, to come down to these level, okay, maybe not in the next couple of days, but in the coming week. So basically that's what I'm looking at, and it could take out this level here. If it could take out this level, let me see what that level is, right? If it could take out this level, then we could put up the maybe forming a new higher low, higher high, right? So basically we got this higher low, and if take out this level, let's say come up here somewhere, then essentially we got a higher high, then it might come up and take out this this high. But again, I'm a little bit leery about this this candle here, right? This weekly candle, you see this, right? Basically a heck of a shooting star, and then last week we also got another shooting star doji here, a greystone doji pretty much, right? So those kind of stuff is kind of putting a little bearish tone on the price action here. So unless those things get invalidated, then basically I'm still kind of looking for this thing to pull back down. Okay, and then the couple stock that I put on watch here, last week's video, the last session, we're basically talking about Snap, parent company of Snapchat, right? Still kind of hovering around here. You can see that it's still kind of chopping around within this engulfing candle, this engulfing spinning top doji. So one could, kind of look at this, and looking at the 30-minute chart here, right? You could see that there is a little bit of a trend line coming down here. You could, if you want to be a little bit aggressive, you could play this thing, maybe trade a little bit around it, using this maybe as a stop. But if you want to be conservative, then you trade it on the daily, then looking at playing this as a inside bar setup, right? The inside day type of setup, or you could scale in. So it's all depend what your trading plans. And there's no holy grail in terms of trading. There's no short thing, but the edge is not of the setup, but it's mostly is your risk management. It's all come down to your risk management. If you got a good risk management plan, then it doesn't matter what your setup is. Chances are it's going to be random anyway, right? So even though we might say that a certain setup might have a higher probability of success, but still, every trade that we put on is a 50-50 proposition. Okay, so basically it's just risk management, and again, there are some opportunity here, depending how aggressive you want to be. Okay, but the key thing is, basically making the guess that slightly beneath the 17 level is, basically the 17 level is the intermediate low, and expecting this thing to bounce back up, maybe possibly come and tag this upper channel trend line here. Okay, and that's basically the premises here to look for this trade setup and trade this back up to the upper band, and with the risk of if it go below 17, then we get stop out. So that's basically the parameter that we want to set up. Okay, then the other one is the Under Armour. Right. Okay, so you can see Under Armour, we're basically looking at these pivot line, this trend line here with these support level pivot. Right, and we're essentially saying we could play this pivot or the inside bar here, right? So basically we could get in on this trigger here, this 2146, right, with this as a trigger for potential entry, and essentially play up to this gap fill. Then we could more than get the more than 2R, because this is 2R, and if we get up here, that it'd be basically it's a 6R. So it's all depend how aggressive is your stop, right? Because there are different ways to put your stop. If you be very aggressive on your stop here, then essentially filling up the gap will give you a potential 6R of return on your risk. If you want to be a little bit more conservative and play your stop down at this this pivot and below, just kind of beneath this this trend line here, then you get a little bit you have to get a little bit higher. If it's filling the gap, it's basically more like a 5R type of return. Okay, so those are basically some of the levels that you might want to keep an eye on, and good luck the rest of your trading for the week.